If the forehand is your favorite shot and you want to be more aggressive with the forehand, this is the video for you. Of course, you could hit harder and you can go for riskier shots with your forehand, but that usually leads to a whole lot more errors. So how about we look at other solutions for being more aggressive with the forehand? And I'll start with a super simple question. Are you hitting enough forehands? But how do you know that if you don't tape your matches, you come off the court and you have to rely on just what you remember? And this is where Swing Vision, the sponsor of this video, can help. And I actually got the inspiration for this video after I used the Swing Vision app to look at one of my last hitting sessions. And what I saw was that I'm not anywhere close to using my forehand enough. Using the Swing Vision app is super easy. You simply put your phone right here into the swing stick, and then the swing stick clips right here into the fence, or you mount it all the way on top. And then you simply click start. That's it. If you use my link below, you get a free Swing Vision stick that's worth $100 with your 1-year Swing Vision Pro subscription. And this comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and free international shipping. Especially the shot placement heat map that you get for yourself and of course for your opponent are important. And then you also get the hitting position for both yourself and your opponent. And this is really where I saw that I'm not hitting forehands enough out of this area, because if I'm filtering out right down here, my backhands, you see that I rarely move over here to hit my forehand. If I take out my forehands here, you see that I'm very consistent with my backhand, but I'm predominantly going cross court. I rarely ever change direction, which means that my opponent does not have to worry about moving over here. So if I can hit more forehands from this area here, I can basically hit more cross court forehands and keep my opponent guessing a whole lot more. If you play whole matches, you of course also get the serve placement, and then you're getting match statistics. Point by point, everything is recorded. You get the point history, and you just click on an individual point and you get right into the film. And then you get more advanced statistics, first, second serves, returns, forehands, and backhands. Now let's get back to be more aggressive with your forehand. Why should you be hitting your forehand more? For one very obvious reason. Most players prefer their forehands. They're more confident with it, and they also commit fewer errors with it. And that alone will elevate your game in a huge way, because missing fewer balls, not giving free points away, that's going to win you matches. You start playing, what we usually do as coaches, if we're looking at the court this way, we give you balls to this side and we say, well, hit your forehand. And then we play the ball to this side and we usually say, well, use your backhand. So we're basically dividing the court through the middle, which is exactly what I did in my hitting session, which at my level, that should not happen. I need to use my forehand more, and so should you. So how do you figure out on which balls you can actually move around your backhand and take your forehand? It depends on how quickly you can read the ball, you see where the ball is going to go, and then of course how quickly you can move. If we're looking at the heat map from my own hitting session, if I'm only taking one big step and I'm now taking the balls right here that previously I used my backhand for, and I'm using that as forehand, I'm already increasing the number of forehands in a huge way. And I think this is probably a pretty good area that we can all start looking for more forehands. So if I'm now starting to take my forehand in this area here, but my opponent still wants to go to my weaker side, my backhand, they now have to hit a lot more precisely. In my case, weaker doesn't necessarily mean that I'm outright missing the ball. Weaker for me means that I'm more predictable, because I'm avoiding to change direction. The ball's coming from the outside and I want to change direction. I'm now going down the line. The ball has to travel across my body here, and that is really difficult to then precisely hit that ball, especially for a one-hander. If I'm now taking forehands from here, the ball no longer has to cross my body here, and I'm hitting a higher percentage shot. I'm basically hitting a forehand cross court. Now my opponent can't just sit in the outside. They will now also have to worry a little bit more about me going inside in. That is what that's called when the ball's coming from the outside. I use my forehand and I'm now going to the deuce court. And to add even more unpredictability in for my opponent, of course, I can also use these forehands to now go inside out. I'm going back cross court from where the ball came. I just love messing with people that way. Let's get into drills. In order for you to move around your backhand, you have to do so very quickly. And one of the best ways to do that is to use a drop step, a back crossover. I'm pivoting on my outside leg, from me, my left, and I'm crossing over with my back leg. And you see how that helps me bring my shoulders and my hips around, which is exactly what I want. A really great way to work on this is to move around the ball and just use your left arm, your left hand, to catch that ball here, because that really helps me gauge the distance and how much I have to bring my upper body around. So all I'm doing is I'm getting ready, split step, drop step. Yep, that would have worked. Make sure that you recover properly, because if you're going inside in, my bisector of an angle is on the deuce court. Ooh, that was too close. Didn't move enough. See that? I only need one drop step to get around these balls. Whereas previously, I literally took them as backhands. And of course, I'm also working on my inside out. And you see here, my bisector of an angle is a lot closer. So I don't have to move quite as much. Too close. And here's another great way that Swing Vision can help you with your development as a player. I'm going to film every single one of my hitting sessions from now on, and I'm going to have proof whether I did what I wanted to do or not. Use more forehands, or do I still prefer my backhand? And that's a great way for Swing Vision to help you with accountability. Much better.